Welcome back to Chortle Cast. Let's do it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Cast. I'm Jake.
And I'm Brody. And it's been a while.
It's been a while. We've been doing all sorts of fun bonus episodes, and I've been in RTX, so it's been crazy. It's been a while.
It probably hasn't been that long, but it feels like this
forever.
Month has felt like crazy.
The summer has felt crazy.
It has.
Oh well. Anyway, if you didn't know, this is Chortle Cast, the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about video games, anime, movie, TV, games, whatever the heck we want to talk about. And today, we don't really know what we're talking about. Today is going to kind of be just like a catch-up episode. Not a lot of big news has happened this week.
Nothing's happened. Like nothing that I've heard of.
Yeah, we could talk about a couple things, but we're going to talk about some stuff. And some of the little news stories will kind of seep through. But for the most part, we're just going to kind of catch up. We're going to talk. We're going to do our catch up here in a second, in which I will be discussing my RTX experience, all the things I got to do. There will be a vlog coming out eventually of RTX, but I'm having trouble with it right now, so it's not ready quite yet. Brody, how you been?
I've been okay.
Why don't you start? Because I have a lot of RTX stories I can tell, but...
I mean, really, I haven't been doing much. Mm-hmm. Just working. Alex and I are moving.
Oh, yeah. Where are y'all moving to?
Across the street.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you can't tell me that on the podcast. Well, that's cool. So you guys have been packing and everything?
No, we just found out today that
you're going to be able to get in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, yeah, the guy's moving out like July 25th, and I have to be out of my apartment by the end of this month, so.
Oh, okay.
We're probably going to pack everything and
I hate moving.
Fly there.
I hate moving.
The only thing I'm really nervous about
At least you don't have to go that far. You're just going across the street, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Because you've moved 3 times since you've been here?
Let's see. I had my first place.
And then you got the poop in the window.
I had the... yeah, I had the place that you and I were at.
Yeah, and
now I'm at a new place. So I've moved twice, but I've been in 3 places. Does that make sense?
I'll say 3.
I'm going to have to move at some point before I leave here anyway, whether I'm moving to another part of town or I'm moving out of town.
Yeah.
It'll be crazy.
I'm just nervous that our landlord's going to charge us for crazy crap like the place that we lived before where you live now they're going to be like, these carpets aren't clean. We had to steam clean them. You know, it's like $200.
Once you leave? Yeah. Security deposits, I put down never expecting to get that money back. Because they're going to say something. They're going to pull something.
We did security deposits for that place, and they still made us pay more, didn't they? Because they had to repaint all the walls.
Maybe. I can't remember. That was so long ago. That was at least 2 years ago.
I don't know. It's just... she's going to make us pay for something.
Apartments are stupid. I wish you guys could buy a house or something, because that's so much better.
Enough for a house.
I know. But just the money in the long haul, how much money you put into an apartment, you never get any of that back.
I feel like it's kind of a trap.
It is.
Especially for someone like me that doesn't have, a great income, is, you're kind of just stuck forever.
Well, but what you do is you take a loan, and you get approved for a loan. You take that loan, and now you're paying that loan every month, but ultimately you're either going to sell that house and pay off the rest of that loan and have however much you had left that you can take with you. But I don't know. That's the appealing part of apartments, is if you're going to only be somewhere for so many years, you can cheaply live, but you don't get any of that money back.
Yeah, cheaply.
But
I mean, and then you have to pay for utilities and stupid groceries so you can eat and live.
How dare you eat and live? Well, that sucks. Have you been playing any games?
Kinda.
Have you, we'll talk more about Splatoon in a minute, but have you downloaded the demo, gone ahead and gotten in and...
Is it a different download than the test fire?
Yes.
Oh.
There's a separate download.
Oh, then no, I have not.
You need to, because you can go in. This is fun. You can go in and you can walk around. Like, you can go in all the stores.
Oh, really?
You can check everything out. You get to see the first episode of Off the Hook or whatever, where they like do all the announcements and stuff.
Okay.
And then you can pick your team and get your shirt.
Ice cream. If anyone else is anything but ice cream, please don't talk to us.
Just stop now.
Like, why would you be cake?
I don't understand why anyone would be cake either. Ice cream is way better.
It is.
I don't.
Like I told you, the only good thing about cake is icing.
When I was getting ready to pick the team, I was like, okay, I don't want to pick a team that Brody's not going to pick later, and then we're going to have to like fight each other in the stream. I was like, that's not going to be fun, because I'm hoping we can like make a party and stick together.
Didn't let us in the test fire.
I think it can in this though, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Either way, I was like, I don't want to be on a different team than Brody, so I was messing you, and you were like, ice cream. Is it even a question? And I was just like, thank God.
I mean,
it's like, if you had said cake, I would have been so mad. Like, I don't know that I could have justified being a cake. I would have had to talk you into ice cream, but
actually, the only cake I like is strawberry cake.
I mean, it's not that I don't like cake.
I just don't like cake.
I just much like, if you're asking me what's better, ice cream is better every time.
Yeah.
Although I do like cheesecake, but I think that's different.
I'd say that's different.
I think that's different. I think that's a different whole topic. Anyway, so fun fact. Well, you need to download that then and do it. It's kind of disappointing because they do like a little training where like you kind of learn the controls to get as you get into Splatoon Square or whatever it's called, but Inkopolis Square.
I don't know. I just call it the hub world.
The hub world. But then you kind of walk around. For a minute, I thought I was going to be able to jump into matches and start leveling up my shirt, but it doesn't let you do that. It's like there's not a Splatfest going on.
Well, I need to do that then.
Yeah.
So what else have I been doing? Killing Floor 2 got their like carnival update thing.
Have you been playing that?
Yeah, me and Steven and Miles tried it, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I need to play that more. I haven't gotten to play with you guys as much, but...
What else have I been doing? Kind of fell off Destiny.
You've been watching
Destiny 2 now.
Yeah, you've been watching Castlevania.
I've seen the first 3 episodes.
I've seen the first 4 episodes, which is all of them.
Yeah,
in case you
which
didn't
is everything.
know. And they're only 30 minutes. It took me 2 hours.
They're shorter than that. The first one's 25, and then the other 3 or 22 or 23 minutes.
I don't know. It didn't take me that long. It took me less than 2 hours. I blew through it. It's really good. I like the art style. I like what's happening. It reminds me of The Witcher in a way.
Trevor's really cool. I like Trevor. I had a really hard time like understanding some of the people like talking.
Like you couldn't understand what they were saying?
Yes. Like Dracula at first was kind of like and then it got to like the priest guy that burned the chick at the very beginning. Not spoilers, really. I couldn't understand any. I had to turn the subtitles on for him.
I'm glad he died pretty quick, although I'm surprised.
Like this and his voice, and you couldn't really understand.
You're gonna have to get close to the mic for that because I can't even hear you.
He talked like this, and you couldn't understand anything he said.
Okay, did you notice this? And this may just be me, but Trevor, Dracula, and that guy, I swear could be done by the same person. They sound very, very similar.
Probably, yeah.
I'm not saying they are, but they're all like that really, really like gruff and like tumbly, like, I don't know, like that kind of voice.
Yeah. I wasn't... There's a lot of things that, I don't know. The series, it has a cool aesthetic, and the animation proved itself in the Cyclops fight to be like really well. It's all hand drawn, so that's really cool.
Right.
Wasn't impressed with the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And like nothing stood out to me. And like the bar fight at the beginning of the second episode, the music for it was so weird.
None of the music is really...
It didn't stand out to you.
No.
You probably don't even remember it.
I don't. I really don't. It was... I vaguely remember the theme even because Netflix now skips intros. Like it shows you the title and then it plays like a little ditty and then goes on. But
like the music was really weird and not too impressed with the voice acting.
I didn't have a problem with the voice acting. Again, kind of like I said, like for a while I had to really pay attention to what I was looking at because I couldn't tell who was who by voices. Yeah. Unless it was like a drastically different person. But the story's interesting. But honestly, like the first 4 episodes, and no spoilers for like the ending or anything, but like honestly, that could have been episode 1 and 2 of any other anime series or anything.
Yeah. Well, see, I would have thought that like they put 4 out and they were like, we'll just test the waters with this kind of thing. Because really, this is the first Netflix original animation. Right. They've had, I think, 7 Deadly Sins, Little Witch Academia, and upcoming Fate Apocrypha. Yeah. Those 3 are like actual anime, like made in Japan anime. And those are on Netflix, and they say Netflix original, but they're not Netflix original. Right. So this is the first thing. So I was like, maybe it's just 4 episodes because they wanted to test the waters or something. And then immediately after they went up, they were like, 8 episodes, season 2 coming out. And it was like, what? Okay.
Huh. Well, if it comes out quickly, that's fine. I kind of, before I started really looking into any of this, I thought like maybe they're doing 4 episodes this month. There will be another 4 episodes that come out next month. No, it was really weird. Like, they announced the 2nd season, like, I'm pretty sure as soon as the 1st season came out. It was really weird. Huh. Well, as long as it's coming out quick, I'm fine with that because, I mean, it was good, but like you haven't seen the 4th episode, but you were like, I heard there's a cliffhanger. Yeah, like, I've heard it. From what I like saw, really, because I read the comments when they announced the 2nd season was like good because what even was that ending? I mean, maybe I missed something, but I didn't think it was very cliffhanger-ish. Yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, it felt like the first 2 episodes of a longer season. Yeah, but oh well. So then, also, people, this is actually old news to everybody now, but I still want to talk about it. Doomfist, yeah. That happened while I was at RTX. I was in the line to get my badge, and that happened, and it was hilarious because I'm surrounded by just people just like me who like are checking this stuff all the time, and you could just see like I look and I saw it, and then you could just kind of hear like Doomfist, and like you could see people huddled around watching the stuff with Kaplan and. The little short they put out with which was awesome. That was really cool. I wanted to see gameplay, which I've seen gameplay now, but I was hoping while Kaplan was talking they'd be rolling some gameplay. But I don't think they ever have actually. But now that we've seen how he plays, I think he plays awesome. I think I'm probably going to end up playing him a lot. Yeah. I pretty much main Reinhardt and maybe like Lucio and Mercy. Well, I'm surprised because he's an offensive character, isn't he? He's not even a tank. No. So I'm curious to see what he's like. I'm sure you're surprised because your theory the whole entire time was that Doomfist was going to be the last character released. Yeah, and I don't think that anymore. Like after but after seeing him, I kind of felt disappointed, to be honest with you. I'm not. I'm more excited. I think he's cool, but I'm more excited because like. First off, like, from what they said, that this is, like, kind of the beginning of Talon's story. Right. Which is, like, the bad organization in Overwatch universe. So I'm excited to get to see more villains. And I hope they keep adding more villains. Because I'm totally down with that. I've seen a lot of people say that the next thing they want is, like, a villain healer. Oh, that would be kind of cool. Because as it is right now, there's not enough healers. No, there's not enough anyway. I mean, Mercy's honestly the best one. 4 healers. Yeah. Well, no, what I mean by disappointing is, like, I kind of thought Doomfist was, like, the big bad of the Overwatch world. No, and I don't think... There's bigger bads. There's bigger bads. I don't think he is that. So in that sense, that's what I saw him as. And now that I know he's not that, I'm just a little disappointed. But I like him. Yeah, he's really cool. I think it looks cool. He's not the Terry Crews everyone wanted. I kind of prefer his voice. I am a little upset that they didn't get Terry Crews to voice him, but I understand that ultimately probably was never going to happen.
I mean, Terry Crews, he was at like the Overwatch or the like Blizzard University or something.
What if they are making a character for him?
I mean,
now, that would be crazy.
Probably, because the whole entire thing of Doomfist was that he wasn't ever going to be a character. Mm-hmm. But when they put that short out or whatever, everyone was like, so when's Doomfist coming out?
Yeah.
And it just became a thing. And they were like,
fine, we'll make a Doomfist character.
And I mean, he's really cool. Like,
yeah. So he's not playable yet, right? He's on the
PTR.
PTR.
So yeah. I'm thinking probably next Tuesday he'll go up.
That would be great.
Because they're nerfing him right now. So,
of course, they have to nerf him. All right. Well, anything else you wanted to talk about before I go into RTX?
I guess still with Overwatch. We're still waiting for Hammond.
Oh man, I forgot about Hammond.
Yeah, with all the Doomfist thing, we kind of.
Have you played the new Horizon Lunar Colony map at all?
No.
I haven't either.
I haven't really played Overwatch since the last event.
That's like a normal map now, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's in the cycle. Yeah, I need to play it. I haven't played in a while.
I just haven't played Overwatch since the event ended.
When is Summer Games should be the next event, right? That should be in the update that Doomfist comes in. So next Tuesday.
No, they'd already be teasing it, or like would have announced it. But it should be soon because I remember when I moved up here last July,
right?
It was going on, and that was what I played like the entire time.
I kind of hope they do a different theme other than like Olympics. Like Summer Games is a good title. Like that could be anything.
It's just going to be that.
I hope it's a little less patriotic. I guess I don't know.
Patriot, like
I don't know. It's just like I don't want to earn like flag. Logos and stuff. It's like, gonna do that again.
Yeah, they already found it like in the data mines and stuff.
Are we gonna be playing Lucio soccer again?
I would assume so. But better Lucio soccer, Lucio ball. Better versions of it. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe it'll work. It was fine, but I played that round like once or twice, and then I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Moved on. Oh well. Okay. Well,
so now, let's all buckle in for Jake's RTX adventure.
Strap in. I'll talk about my RTX adventure. Like I said, there's a vlog that's going to go on, so you'll see a lot of stuff that I did, but I just don't know when I'm going to be able to do it. So I don't know when that's going to come. So in the meantime, enjoy this. So the first thing I learned at RTX is that there are lines, lots and lots and lots of lines. Have you ever been to any like big convention?
I haven't. I'm surprised you didn't get sick. Con sickness is usually a thing.
Maybe that's people all day at work have been, or all week at work have just been like, Jake, are you okay? Like you look sick, you look tired. And I'm just like, I'm fine. I think I'm fine.
Usually people that go to cons end up getting sick. But
I'm surprised because
usually the people that are like part of the con.
I mean, well, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because I guess because they
like talent, they're meeting people all the time. Yeah. Like I saw a lot of the talent using Germex everywhere. There were like Germex stations for them, but lines, lots and lots of lines. Mm-hmm. I got really lucky with my badge because I got there 2 hours early and there was already a line. No, well, let me rephrase. I got there an hour early before the line was supposed to form, and there was already a line. So I got in that line, and they kind of like so apparently there's a new fire marshal in Austin, and he is like strict. He's like crazy apparently, because they had little boxes taped off everywhere, and it was like, you can't stand in this box, or you can only stand in this box, like don't block this walkway. And like they were super super strict about it. I mean, it was fine. Like in some ways I liked the order, but it was just like, I've never seen like so much like, excuse me sir, can you stand in this box because like you can't stand there. And it was just like, okay, cool, I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going. Anyway, they boxed us off in this little section, and I was literally like against two walls. Like I could not see behind me at all. And so I stood in line for 2 hours or so, played the Master Trials on my Switch, whatever. I never realized that there were like 60,000 people behind me. So I was in that line, and once I started my line, I went through and had no problems. But little did I know there was like a million people behind me. So if I had showed up when I was supposed to, I would have really been there and may not have even gotten my badge. Day one, I went to the Funhouse panel. It was a blast. They did like a meme challenge championship thing, and they had like a ice bucket challenge where they had like two people hold a cup of ice and dump it on their head, and then they had a fidget spinner challenge where Bruce was the one kind of leading this one. And I have a story for Bruce in a minute, but he called out people like, if you have a fidget spinner, hold it up. And he went and picked like 6 people. And then he took all their fidget spinners and threw them in the trash and gave them other toys. So he gave them like he gave one guy a hula hoop. He gave one girl a cup and ball thing that you're trying to like get the ball to land in the cup. He gave one guy jacks, and then a girl like a hopscotch like kick jumping thing. And then I'm trying to think of who won. I think it was jacks. Anyway, but like they would all compete, and then we'd pick who we thought did it the best. So jacks won that one, I think, because Bruce felt bad because it was like, what are you supposed to do with jacks? But then they did there was one other challenge, but once they had like the 3 winners from the other challenges, they made them wrap themselves in Christmas lights and bounce to an outlet to light themselves up. And then Elise did a little gag so Andy Serkis was the keynote speaker. Oh, cool. So like, yeah, I could have seen Planet of the Apes while I was there for free with my ticket or whatever, with my badge. But there was something else going on that night that I wanted to see. So I was just like, I'll see Planet of the Apes eventually. But anyway, Elise did this little bit where she was like, okay, Andy Serkis is here. He's going to come out and talk to us. And Blaine, who is another star, comes out in a Gollum suit, and they do a little bit from Lord of the Rings. The whole time during the panel, Lawrence was playing Skyrim, like trying to speedrun Skyrim, but the joke at the end was he didn't make it through the character creation menu. So that was kind of the joke. I thought he was gonna like make a really cool character or like make a really funny looking character, and like that's what he had spent the whole time doing. But no, he hadn't even picked a character or anything. So it was funny. But yeah, it was really good. I thought they were going to announce Sex Swing Season 2, which is their animated show that they did for Rooster Teeth. But apparently it's been canceled or not renewed. So they had this little thing where they built up like to an announcement, and they were like, we've got a trailer for you guys. And they shot to the screens, and it was this big thing that said canceled. And Adam was like, Rooster Teeth sent us this in an email that said F you. So it was kind of funny. Left that, and so the cool thing that happened during that was all their editors were there too. So I went up to talk to all their editors and got them to sign my hat. And so I didn't. I told them, I was like, so I do video production in where I live, and I was like, so I do what you guys kind of like what you guys do, and I really appreciate the effort and what you do, and I've learned a lot from you guys. And they were just like, oh, cool, and asking me about that and whatnot. And then Dan, who edits a lot of demo discs, and he's their DM for their Dungeons & Dragons series, he was super nice. He was like asking me all sorts of questions and whatnot. I ran into the editors later that day, and I asked him, I was like, what would you be your advice to somebody who's wanting to do something for Rooster Teeth? And they were like, do the internship. And I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, I've got a couple of years experience. I'd like to not intern, but anyway. But then they were like, if you've got a channel, that's also another great way. If you can show us that you've been doing something for a consistent amount of time that's good content, then that's always good. Yeah. So I said, cool. Anyway, left that panel. Meeting the editors was really fun. What did I go to next? Oh, we tried to go into the exhibit hall because we had a little bit of time to kill before another panel we wanted to go to that day. I was with a buddy of mine named Taylor, who I had met while I was there. He and I were sharing an Airbnb with like 8 other people who were also going to this event. We tried to get into the exhibit hall, and it was crazy because they had metal detectors that you had to go through. And so I waited in a line to go into the exhibit hall for an hour and a half just to go in to the exhibit hall. And so me and Taylor were both like, all right, screw our plans for today. We're going in the exhibit hall and we're doing everything there. And then we're leaving because we are not going back into this mess. They ended up fixing it the next day, and it was a lot easier to get in and out of. But that first day was a nightmare.
What even was in the exhibit hall?
Basically shops. It was a bunch of there was a Funko Pop stand, and there was that's where their center stage was. So Andy Serkis did a keynote up there and showed some clips from the movie and some behind the scenes stuff.
Did you do any voices?
I didn't sit through the whole thing, so I only caught a couple things. But there was also this thing called the Let's Play Lounge where Let's Play people talent would show up and you could get in a line to go meet them. But anyway, we get in the exhibit hall and I went to the center stage because Bruce, Elise, Gus, and Jack were playing this new game called Next Up Hero, which is this cool. It's a game that you'll be playing a level. Or a level structure, but once you die, I could jump in and pick up where you left off.
Okay.
So if you go up to level 20 on a level structure and die, I could pick up your game and start from level 20 and work my way up.
Okay.
But anyway, Elise and Gus and Jack and Bruce all have characters in the game, so they played as themselves and all that and that. It was kind of interesting. It dragged on a little bit longer. But it was still cool to see them. That's where I met Bruce. I kind of hung around after that, and I started to go to the bathroom, and as I was walking in, Bruce was walking out. And I was just like, Bruce, hey! I was like, can you sign my hat? And he was like, oh, cool, yeah. And then here's my Bruce story. But on my way to RTX, I was driving, and I was listening to the Dude Soup podcast. And in the podcast, they talked about that there's a fidget spinner that looks like Genji's throwing stars. And Bruce lost his mind and was like, I want one of these. How did you get one? And Adam was like, oh, they're $30 on this at this anime expo that he went to. And I was just like, I got two. I got one for you and one for me for $4. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, no, because I had it. I had my fidget spinner in my hand, and I said, I probably can't get through airport security with this. So I left it. And I was just like, if I could brought it, I could have given it to Bruce. So I told him that story while I was signing my hat. He was like, no. He was like, oh, that's awesome. He was like, I would have loved it. I wish you could have brought it. And I was like, no, I will. And when he called up people with fidget spinners, I looked at my friend Taylor, who knew this story, and I was just like, really? Here it is again. I failed. But anyway, started to walk around the exhibit hall and went through the Rooster Teeth store, got some cool T-shirts and stuff. Walk out of the Rooster Teeth store, and there's James Willems. And he's got a little tiny line forming to get a signing with him. So I book it over there. And I got to meet James. He talked to me for 10 minutes. Did
you show him our YouTube channel?
No. But, I can't remember what we talked about with James. I just kind of mentioned, told him I was like, thank you for coming out and trying to meet people. I couldn't get into your signing or whatever. Got him to sign my hat. Kind of told him what I did and all that. And he was just nice. He was cool. He was talking to everybody. And it was fun. It was really nice to meet him. Left there about this point to where I ran into the editors again, talked to them. And then that was pretty much it for that day. The next thing that I did was I went to this thing called, I'm just going to call it the Versus panel from here on out, but it was Kind of Funny versus Screw Attack versus Game Attack versus Mega 64. And I want to say there was one more person, but I can't remember. I like team, but I can't. I think that was it. Yeah. Anyway, the Versus panel was awesome. It may have been the most fun I had at RTX. It was hilarious. In my vlog, I've got a huge clip of Greg Miller coming out, his stage walkout. Mm-hmm. It was hilarious. Basically, it was an hour to 2 hours of all of those people just screaming at each other, dissing each other and all that. Greg Miller walks out and he's like, my name is Greg effin' Miller. You may know me from the USA Today. It says how to make money on the internet or something. It was really funny. But and then Game Attack, which is a kind of a new thing. Mm-hmm. they started talking about Colin leaving, and they were like,
yeah.
"Oh, I bet they wrote all about Colin in that article. Too bad Colin's not there to screw you guys anymore," or whatever, like that kind of stuff. It was pretty funny. But whenever they started bringing up Colin, I was just like, that's a low blow. That's too harsh. Whatever. But it was funny. They played like Gang Beast and WWE. It was like on the Nintendo 64, so I'm not even sure what year that would have been. But they played Mario Kart. They played some game. I want to say it was Driver, but it was a racing game, and the mode they played was survival. And so they had this car that was in front of them that they were chasing, and the car was sending lightning bolts down, and it was like throwing cars at them. And so it was like, who can last the longest? And that looked hard as heck because nobody made it longer than a minute. So
Yeah.
Anywho, it was really fun. It kind of went on long. It kind of dragged on because they just kept sassing each other so much that they never got to playing the games. But Taylor and I had a blast at that one. It was a lot of fun. Day 2, the only big thing that I wanted to do was the Dungeons and Dragons panel with Funhouse. So I went to the exhibit hall first, and I basically just kind of milled around all day and then I went and got in line for the D&D panel. I ended up on the front row somehow, like past VIP section. Like I'm where guests of the talent are sitting, but like I'm on the front row. So that was a really, really fun one. I'm surprised that one was not just absolutely packed because there were people from Funhouse and Achievement Hunter there.
Yeah.
And those are like two of the biggest things. But anywho, that was really entertaining. They played a little bit of D&D. They had like a merging of the two D&D shows, or the two bigger ones. Afterwards, I went out to talk to Dan, told him that I really liked it. He remembered me from yesterday.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I'm really glad you came." And then I got Elise to sign my hat. And I'm most upset that I never really got to like meet Elise. Like I kind of had to just like be quick to get her to sign my hat. So I'm sad I never got to like meet her or take a picture or anything like that. But she did sign my hat, so that's cool. Left that panel, went straight to Dude Soup panel. Got in, did not get a great seat for that one. In fact, I had a decent seat. So what they do, there's a million seats in these rooms, right? And you file in the order you came. And then there's certain taped off areas for VIP who they can show up and get in those seats. And then there's another section that's for guests, like the editors of Funhouse showed up to almost all the Funhouse panels.
Yeah.
And they would sit up there. So what would happen is, come 10, 15 minutes before the show started, if those VIP seats weren't filled, they would let normies pile up into that. So I'm like third row. I'm like third seat into my row. I'm like 2 rows back from the closest VIP thing. I get out and go forward, and by the time I get up there, every seat is taken suddenly, including mine. So now I have to go to the farthest end, and I was kind of like by myself on the furthest row away. And I was just like, well, great. That goes to show you not to cheap out or whatever. To sometimes what you have is better than what you get or whatever.
Yeah.
But that panel was good. Lawrence tried to do this cool thing about positivity. So like he told a story about somebody being really, really kind to him. And then he like went out into the audience and he found this guy who was in a wheelchair, who was like missing some fingers and stuff, and got him to tell a story about a kindness. And it was about like this night that he was at like a Renaissance festival, and this night like pledged loyalty to him or whatever. And so he was like, I have a night. So it was really, really cool. But the rest of the crew kind of like drifted away from that really quick. So it was funny. It was kind of random. They shot a t-shirt cannon. They did a Q&A, which they didn't even do at their own panel, which I was fine with. But anywho, so that one was cool. Ran up at the end of that one, got Adam to sign my hat. And he was honestly the one I was most scared about, because every Dude Soup I've listened to that they talk about like fan interaction, Adam is always the one that has like the bad experience that he talks about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't want to be that guy that Adam talks about later in a Dude Soup podcast. So I was just like real nice, and I was just like, can you sign my hat? Thank you. Okay, bye. And made it out. But he did. He signed my hat. So it was great. He underlined it. He was one of the only people that underlined their name.
I was going to say, like, I've watched a couple of Funhouse things, not a lot, but out of all the people, like, Adam's been my favorite for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
He's really funny. I like him. He's got a real dry sense of humor, kind of like you do.
I saw the video of him talking about his dad beating him.
Well, so he's got a really... I don't want to talk about his life story, but, like, from what I've picked up between things, and I don't know how much of it is a gag or not, but, like, he's got a really interesting backstory, like, growing up and stuff. I hope there's somewhere that he's talked about it before, because it's really interesting. But anywho, that was what I did. Something after that night, I went to a Mario Party panel after that. So at this point, I've gotten everybody except Lawrence to sign my hat. So I'm on like cloud 11.
Yeah. Like
I'm just like, I did what I came to do. I don't care what I do tonight. So I went to the Mario Party panel it was Game Attack. I think it was just Game Attack. But they just played Mario Party, and that was it. I just kind of hung out. I don't even know that I filmed that much of it, because I was just like, I did what I came to do. I'm done. I'm good. I'm cool. So, but it was really fun. It was entertaining. I got like really into it. Those were like the night panels, and they were really fun because there was a lot of audience interaction. Like there was a guy sitting in front of me, I swear he was drunk, who just kept like catcalling him and stuff. And like they like knew where he was, and like they would start catcalling him, like the talent on stage. So it was really cool. It was kind of fun. Last day, what did I do? Man, I can't think of what I did. What was the last day?
Lawrence?
That's the only thing I had. Yeah. So the last day,
you missed Greg. Didn't Greg sign something, or did you just?
I just got a picture with Greg.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got a picture with Greg at the Versus panel.
Which you told me you like freaked out when he left or something.
I was like, yeah, I got a picture with Greg. Yeah. I tell you what, everything I saw with Kind of Funny was really, really great. So while I was waiting for that Mario Party panel, a couple of my buddies had gone to the On the Spot panel, and I didn't really care. And like I was like, it was happening right after I had gotten out of another panel. Yeah. So if I could have made it, I would have been in the back. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and get a good seat for Mario. But I didn't realize that Funhouse was gonna be on that. So I was like, crap, I wish I had known that, because then I would have wanted to be in the back. Yeah. But they had like a Twitch link to watch the show live. So I watched it, and it was Kind of Funny versus Funhouse, and they did like improv games. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched On the Spot. I haven't either. That was another reason why I wasn't just like dying to go see it. But they basically played improv games. Yeah. And it was hilarious. Greg Miller, any show that he is in, he just controls the stage. Like, he gets so excited and so hyped, and he was really entertaining. Like, next Kind of Funny live, or if he's at a Let's Play live, like, I'm definitely going to try to go. Yeah. Because he was really, really entertaining to watch. Okay, so the last day, the only real thing that I had on my schedule that I had to do was I had my signing with Lawrence. And it was like I actually pushed my flight back so I could make it to that. So I think I went through the exhibit hall in the morning. No, so there was an escape room that they had at this thing too. It was like a Achievement Hunter GTA 5 heist room. And I could not freaking get in that thing. I was there at 8:45, and I was like, they capped the line right in front of where I was going to be, so I just left. And I told myself, like, I'll come back to this, but then they capped it for the day. Like, no one else will get to do this. Jeez. I was like, well, great, cool. I guess I'm not going to do this. So I have no idea what it was like. I have no idea if it was good or if it was hard. But I can say that my escape room record I'm undefeated in escape rooms. So there you go. That was my big worry, because a lot of people were like, it was really, really hard. Anywho, so since I missed that, I decided I would go to the 11 and Little Roosters panel, which is a show, like kind of a series that they did on Rooster Teeth. And it was really good. And it had like pretty much every talent representation from all the shows and all of Rooster Teeth in that show.
Yeah.
But on the panel, it only talked about a couple people that were going to be there. And I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. It's no big deal. I'm so glad I went. Because they get up there and they're like, okay, here's, Blaine and here's Barbara, who are all on the panel. And then he goes, and then we have some special guests who weren't on the panel list. And I went, and then James and Elise came out, and then Lawrence came out at the end, and then Chris, who's in day 5, he came out in the middle. So it was awesome. There was a ton of people. That was a lot of fun. They just talked about the show and kind of like what funny stuff happened, and they talked about Funhouse learning to speak German and stuff. It was really interesting. After that, I went to get a bite to eat, which, by the way, day 1, I did not eat at all. I ate Voodoo Donuts that morning, and then I did not eat until I went to that Versus panel because I realized I had not eaten all day.
Oh my God.
But I wasn't like hungry or anything. Like I had like a sandwich, and I like kind of nibbled on it. Like I barely finished it.
I would have died.
I know. I was like, I don't know how. I'm running off of adrenaline. Like that was what it was. Anywho, did that panel. That was fun. Then I went to a D&D panel. So it was like all the DMs from all the different, apparently they have 3 different shows. So Dan was there. So I kind of just wanted to go to kind of support Dan. So it was really interesting. I learned a lot about D&D and some sides of it that I didn't really know just from watching the shows. So it was interesting. It was really, really cool. Apparently the editors of Funhouse have like their own D&D game going that they'll do on like Saturday nights every once in a while.
Cool.
And so I told them, I ran into a couple of them after, and I was like, all right, so when are we going to see this? And they were like, oh, I don't know. We've thought about throwing a camera on just to kind of have. And I was like, if y'all would I was like, don't even edit it. Just throw a camera up. I would watch it. And they were like, all right, we might do that. But anyway, I'm trying to think. And then after that, I just kind of hung around. About that time, I went to get in line for my signing with Lawrence. Waited in that line. There was a guy who had gotten donuts for Lawrence, and I was in a signing for Lawrence and Aaron Marquis. And this guy had gotten donuts for him, and like you're not supposed to do that. Like you're not supposed to get food for him, and they're not allowed to take it. But somehow this guy just accidentally made it through to the line with food, and so all the Guardians were just like, if they want it, you can give it to them, but like don't push it. Bless the guy. He got it to Lawrence and Aaron. I was like right behind him, and they were so nice. They were like, oh, this is awesome. Like I'd love to take some, but I'm like, I've been told I cannot take anything. Like my girlfriend said no, and like Lawrence even took a picture of it, and they were talking about how good it looks and stuff. So I felt bad for the guy, but he gave me a donut and he subscribed. So if you're watching this, thanks, man. But yeah. Got it to Lawrence and Aaron. It was so funny. I got like, I kind of got shocked once I was there. Mm-hmm. So I was just kind of like, this is awesome. And then I was like, why did I say that? But I handed Lawrence my hat. And I was like, you're the last person that's got to sign this. And he was like, oh, okay, awesome. I'll gladly do that. And then I got Aaron to sign my badge. And then I kind of told Lawrence that I really liked what he tried to do on Dude Soup with the kindness thing. And he was cool about that. And then I was wearing a Quintessential Gamer shirt that I had gotten, which is like Lawrence's shirt. That's what they call him. Mm-hmm. So he was like commenting, and it was the foil one, which I don't know that it was the only kind they had left, but I just got that kind anyway. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I really like the foil ones. People don't always get the foil ones. So I was like, yeah, I really like it too. But yeah, that was cool. And then after that, I think I kind of milled around. I went to check the escape room and saw that it was capped completely. Yeah. So I honestly kind of walked around. I went back into the exhibit hall and I kind of just filmed. Like I told myself, like, I'm just going to focus on the vlog for a minute and get some cool footage. So I just kind of treated it like that. Never really saw anybody else that I cared to run into or sign with or get a signing with or anything. So
didn't you say Steven Suptic was supposed to be there?
Steven Suptic was there. I never saw or ran into him. Never. All his panels were like during other panels that I was in. So I never got to see them. So that was sad. Although on that note, I'm looking forward to Rory from IGN, who ripped off something that Steven Septic had done.
Oh yeah,
he was there. He was like covering RTX.
Really?
And so in Steven Septic's most recent vlog, where they were at RTX, there's a shot at the very end where they're kind of like walking around like this, and the camera kind of pans over and it says IGN. Like they were looking for Rory while they were there. So I don't know if they ever found him. I don't know if there's going to be another episode later that talks about it, but it was funny. I hope something actually came out of that. But
that'd be pretty funny.
I'd love to see it. But
did he ever run like the obstacle course?
I don't know. See, I was kind of thinking that something would happen at RTX. Like they'd be like, "Hey, we challenge you to the escape room or something." I don't know. But I don't know. I never heard anything about it. Never saw any tweets about it. So I don't know.
I don't know. Hopefully we can both go to a con.
Yeah.
Soonish.
Yeah. I really. That's another. I wish I had you or your friend of the show, Tyler, and his wife could have come, just because
they would have been more fun than I don't know any of the Roosters.
Like, and Lee Allison almost came with me just because she wanted to come with me. Mm-hmm. She would not have had fun. You probably would not have liked it just because you don't know as much about the Rooster Teeth people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like you probably would have liked the verses because that was hard not to like because it was so funny. But yeah, if you're not a Rooster Teeth like fan, like you don't like if you're just kind of into it, like I wouldn't suggest you go. Because it's number one, everyone there is a bigger fan of Rooster Teeth than you'll ever be. And
even than you?
I mean, yeah, I really only know Funhouse and then Achievement Hunter and now Sugar Pine 7. And like, I know enough to be talkative with other people, but like, I don't know. There were some people who knew everything, and like they knew of people who I didn't even know. So I'm big into Funhouse. I didn't realize that. So there's these two girls named Kel and I don't even remember the other girl's name. It's like Ken and Kel or something like that. Apparently they do a lot of art for Funhouse, but like I don't know if they get paid or how it works, but like they do a lot of stuff that they use too. Like even for the D&D stuff, each characters like that's their art. And like apparently Adam like keeps in touch with them a lot, and like they met for the first time like 2 feet away from me. So I don't know all that, but like there was a guy next to me sitting there who was like, "Oh my gosh, I think I see those girls," and like I don't know. Anyway, like there was stuff that I learned while I was there that I didn't even know was like a thing that the culture knows and understands. So yeah, if you don't like to stand through lines, and if you're not a huge fan of at least some part of, because there was another kid who he only knew about Ruby that I met on my plane. He was like, "I'm going to see Ruby," and I was just like, "I've watched the first episode. I know what you're talking about, but that's not why I'm going." Yeah. So it was interesting, and it's cool that it's so big that people can come for all sorts of different things. But
yeah, that's crazy to just go for Ruby.
I know. It was just whatever. And bless him, he was with his dad, and his dad like was talking to me about football on the plane. So I was just like, well, God bless him. And it was funny. On the plane, I was like, I really hope I get to ride in a plane back with you guys because I want to hear your story, Dad. I want to hear what you thought of this. And on the last day, I ran into him, and I was just like, all right, Mr. Dad, what did you think of all this? And he was like, it's been crazy, but I think my kids had fun, so it was kind of cool. But he didn't.
I think my kids had fun.
He didn't say that he didn't have fun, but he I don't know that he was working mostly. Like I found him up in like an upstairs room that was kind of like off away from people. Like there weren't a lot of people hanging out up there, and he was just like working on a laptop. So it was kind of funny, but I think that's basically it. Yeah, if you're interested in going and you're a Rooster Teeth fan, I definitely recommend it. Yeah. My tips for you would be to show up super early to every. If you want to get a really good seat, show up super early. If you just want to get in, you can make it to almost any panel. Yeah. Like even the Funhouse panel. Like apparently Sugar Pine 7 was in the Funhouse panel. They were like in the very back. And like on their vlog, you can see they're like on the last row, and there's like 4 or 5 rows in front of them that have seats. Now, they're so far back, I don't even know if they could see the screens, but you could have made it to everything. So, yeah. Anywho, yeah, that was my RTX experience. That was like, what, 30 minutes? That's pretty good.
Yeah. I still hope that we get to go to like E3 or PAX or something one day.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot from doing RTX. I kind of think I would be able to handle something else a little bit better. But
E3 is probably going to have crazier lines.
So that's another thing. I never played any video games while I was there. Like, there were video games.
Was Mario Odyssey there?
No, Mario Odyssey was not there. I thought it would be. I was kind of hoping it would be.
Would you have if it was there?
I probably would have waited in line for that, yeah. The problem with games, and I've never thought of it this way, but like, so there was a cool VR demo that was going on. I don't know if you've seen the VR game where you're fighting the robots. It's kind of like Super Hot, but it's like robots. They had that game on a demo in VR that you could play. And so the one day that I went into the expo hall really early, I went over there and there were only like 2 other people in line. So I was like, oh, cool. So I got in line with them and I waited 30 minutes. And the girl that was there when I showed up was still going. And it was just like, I'm going to have to wait at least another hour before I could play. And then another 30 minutes for me to play.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
why'd they let her go for so long?
I don't know. I mean, literally, it was 30 minutes. And I walked in, she was already playing.
Because when I was watching
she might have played for an hour, but...
Geez, when I watched Blockhead's live stream of E3...
They got like 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes for each person.
Yeah. And that might have been how it was at other stations, but I did that one, saw how crazy that was, and I was just like, I'm done. I'm not going to do any of that.
I guess if I went to like a con to like see people and there was panels like that, like I wouldn't waste time with video games.
That was
kind of something like E3 where it's just video games. I would pick which video games I was going to waste my time with.
Right. Well, and that was the other thing. It was like I didn't have any panels I wanted to go to, but the whole reason I was in the exhibit hall was in case Elise or somebody else came like James did and stood and kind of like met people.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be stuck in this line and not even know about that. So I don't know. It was kind of crazy. There were some cool games though.
Like, had the VR helmet on and you like heard James or Elise and you're like,
I have to go. No, that didn't happen. But yeah, there were some cool games there, and like that Next Up Hero game looks really interesting.
Yeah.
There was some stuff you could play that, but anywho, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So we've been going about as long as we normally would.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some other stuff? So there's a lot going on this weekend.
I guess.
There's D23 is happening, and Splatoon 2 is happening. Are you excited for Splatoon 2?
Is the Splatfest this weekend?
Yeah. It's this Saturday.
Oh.
I've been texting you about this.
I switched my work schedule up to line up with Alex Hands.
Are you working on Saturday?
Well, I work Saturday, but only till 5.
Okay, that's
But we're going 5 to 7, and I'm playing with 7 to 9 with Alex Hands.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get used to like. So it used to be that I had Friday, Saturday off, but her schedule got switched around, and I can switch mine around like with the job
Pretty
I have.
freely.
So she's off Monday and Tuesdays now. So I switched it to Monday and Tuesdays. So like, whenever I'm off now on Monday or Tuesday, I'm like, okay, it's Saturday today, and then like, it's just really weird.
That's funny. Well, yeah, Splatoon's coming out this weekend.
Yeah, Testfire. We are going to stream. Right?
We're streaming for the Splatfest, not Testfire.
Yeah.
The Splat. You said Testfire. The first Splatfest, ice cream and cake, ice cream and cake and cake. Yeah, we're gonna stream probably 2 hours. Is that what you said?
Yes, 5 to 7.
We'll stream 5 to 7
Central.
Central
Standard Time.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. We're gonna stream off of my machine probably for the first hour, and then we might try to switch to yours. It should be fairly easy to just switch. I got a new TV for you for when we do 2-player games.
You got rid of mine?
Yep. I got a new one for $80 on Amazon Prime Day. So that little one.
Did you get rid of mine or the old one that you had?
The one that doesn't work.
Okay.
That we always try to make work whenever you're there. No. I kept that one.
I was like, why'd you get rid of that one?
No. I got a replacement for the one that you use whenever we do 2-player games that are separate machines.
Thank you, Amazon Prime Day.
Thank you, Amazon Prime Day. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. I
was like, why'd you sell the working TV, you idiot?
Why would you think I would do that? I'm just throwing that
know.
other one away. I mean, it does not work. Like, I don't
No.
feel right selling it because it does not work
You
at
should
all.
break it. Make a video that's just stomping on it and being like, "Why'd you make everything so hard?"
You made our lives miserable. But yeah. Well, I'm good with closing there. That's what we're doing this weekend. That's what you got look forward to.
I want to just close with this like random thought I had today.
Go ahead.
It's like an idea for a video that I
Okay.
thought it'd be really stupid, but I think it'd be pretty funny. Is like,
Well, before you start, is someone going to steal this, or is this good to like get comments that say, "No, you should totally do this"?
I mean, I don't think anyone was.
Okay, go ahead.
Even if they
Go ahead.
did, like
Go ahead.
whatever.
Go ahead.
But plus, there's gonna be like 10 people that watch us.
Thank you, 10 people.
And plus, if you made it to the end of the video, feel free to steal this.
Now you're giving them permission. It's
Yeah.
just gonna happen. Okay, what is your thought?
Is like get footage from some like little kids baseball game or something, and us sit there and try to commentate it.
I feel like that's illegal somehow.
Why would that be illegal?
I don't know, filming other people's children.
Okay, we'll just find footage of a baseball game from somewhere.
Now, what would be funny?
I just think it'd be funny if it was like little kids that didn't know how to like play games, and us being like, next up to bat is like some name.
We make up a name. Well, you know, there's those live security cameras that you can watch around the world.
Oh,
We could like try to find one of those and narrate what happens. I don't know.
I don't know. It was some stupid idea.
I thought that was a podcast idea for a while. It was like we'd do a show where we just like checked out different live cameras and like that was the background. But I don't know. Anyway. Well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning into this episode of Chortle Cast. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Like I said, we're streaming Saturday. So tomorrow, if you're watching this live on Friday. So look forward to that. It's already on the schedule. We've scheduled that live stream, so you can check out that link there and keep it in mind. And that's if you're not playing the Splatfest, please check us out and support Team Ice Cream. And if you are going to play, also support Team Ice Cream by being Team Ice Cream and winning. We don't want Team Ice Cream losers. We want winners.
I might do the thing I did in the first Splatoon, is pick the team I know is going to lose.
Because then they'll win?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think Ice Cream's got this, like...
Ice Cream
Hands
has it,
down.
but that means Ice Cream's going to have more people that suck.
I guess that's true. Crap. But don't we get points for most people?
You get points for most people.
There's a popularity vote, and that usually wins it. Because there have been times where you and I like kicked butt on a team that lost. Like we had several the best winning streaks I've ever had, and we'd end up losing the whole match. Maybe because of popularity.
I'll just pick Ice Cream because I actually like ice cream.
I actually like ice cream. Anywho, yes, so check into that. We got Night in the Woods on Monday. We have finished in this time period. We have finished with Night in the Woods. Like we now know the ending.
The nightmare's over.
We have filmed the ending, so that's coming. In fact, I think it's only like 2 episodes away.
Yeah, we're thinking the next series might be with some friends.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the next series is going to be, and the difficult thing is October is not that far away, and we're going to be doing a lot of... We're going to try to do what we did last year, which was every day of the week we had a video, and basically what we did was we played through all of Outlast. Like we did that whole series... Part 1 on Monday, part 2 on Tuesday, part 3 on, and so on. And then like I think the last week or like the week in between, like in the middle, we did like a whole week of like random stuff, like of one-offs. So we've got stuff like that planned, but we don't want to like, because I think Inside we started on like November, like in the middle of November.
Yeah.
And then it was like October. Yeah. And then we came back
honestly,
to it.
We'll talk about that later.
So we're trying to come up with some stuff. We've got some thoughts, but if you have a game that's a good series, we're thinking short, and we'd like it if it was co-op, but we don't know. Like one of the things I'm suggesting is Portal 2, that we play through that. But Anywho, if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave that in a comment. And then Wednesday,
I will say nothing narrative, please.
nothing narrative heavy like Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
Like we want to do a story, but we don't necessarily want to have to like really focus on it like Night in the Woods.
Like I saw someone say a Telltale series, and I was just like,
like Inside was really good because we didn't have to like read anything necessarily. We just kind of played through it, and it was fun. We had a good time on that because we were just like, what's happening? What's all this going on?
Yeah.
So that's like the ideal series. Like I like those kind of things. So anything indie, like I'm totally cool with it. But it's just got to be short and not super narrative heavy.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. So a story game that's not super heavy on the story.
Yeah.
Like Night in the Woods was just walking around and talking to people, and that was it. And that was hard. That was hard for me and you. So anyway,
doing voices was fun, but
it was fun, and we had a good time, and I think we've got a couple good episodes out of it. But
yeah, definitely.
We don't want to do another series like that, at least not right now.
For a while.
But anyway, all I have to say, we've got some thoughts, but let us know your thoughts, and we'd love to. I like suggestions. Suggestions are good. And then Wednesday, I'm not sure what we're gonna do yet. Probably gonna be another Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. So Lemon, we're coming back for you, bro. We're coming at you.
We're gonna get you back, Lemon.
We're gonna get you back. How many episodes did we do? Just 2? There was one that Alex Ann messed us up on. It was hilarious. I can't wait.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait for that episode. But so yeah, we'll probably do one of those. And then Friday, expect another podcast. Another great one of these Chortle Casts.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.